Get strong.
Let's get started with the first topic of the day. It's not just any show. It's actually, I've said it before in previous episodes. Joel,
Yeah,
I'm a fan of Chainsaw Man, and I'm caught up with the manga. I'm a
really.
fan of My Hero, and I'm caught up with the manga. But
Okay.
if I told you that Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War, was my favorite anime of the season,
Hmm.
very close, possibly my favorite anime of the year, would you believe me?
I could believe you. Now, I'm not sure what you're comparing. I don't know what else you've been watching aside from that, but I'm imagining a lot. So as much as shocked as I would not be, I have to imagine, at least from one of my experience with Bleach so far, I'm not too shocked. It's been really, really good.
It's been crazy. It's been crazy. I really want to pick your brain about Bleach because, of course, first time that we interact each other, especially talking about this phenomenal show and great shonen anime manga, period. So I kind of want to have a little bit of understanding of what your history with Bleach is. But guys, thank you for joining us for our episode on Bleach. We're going to talk today. We are talking about episode 8, the Shooting Star Project Zero Remix, and we're talking about episode 9, the Drop. So before we jump into the episode breakdown and we kind of talk about the things that we saw and review them,
Okay.
Joel, let us
Mhm.
know. Let us know what is your relationship with Bleach? Are you a manga guy? Are you an anime guy? Have you been always been a fan since it started? Talk to us a little bit about that.
You got it. My first, I guess, my first time ever hearing about Bleach was with the manga. Now, I never
Sweet.
read the whole manga. I think I maybe read the first volume, and that was really it. But that was my first experience, and I remember at the time when I was reading it, I'm like, this would be a great anime. And then I found out it became an anime not long after that, and I was hooked. And I was so excited that it became an anime, and it was a great anime. It really was. It was one of the at the time I was juggling like three different ones. It was between that, Naruto, One Piece, and it was one of my big three at the time when it was
Right.
out. And eventually, I did catch up, and it ended. But now it's back with the Thousand Year War, and then I was very excited to hear that they were going to do it because I wasn't sure we'd ever get that part of it. But that's really my to the extent of my history with Bleach. I do love it a lot, but it's been a long time since I've really got to interact with it. So I'm still like remembering everybody's names again and like what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yes. Yeah, because you got to figure. I mean, the original Bleach series. I think the original anime ended what, like almost 10, 12 years ago.
Right,
It was
probably.
something like that, right? So I totally get it. I mean, I've always known what Bleach is. Like, well, not necessarily. Like, I've heard of Bleach. I've known of Bleach, right? And I know I
Hmm.
started watching the anime, and I was pretty much enjoying it quite a bit. I got stuck. I got stuck a little while after, like when the Arrancar arc started, like when they
Right.
kidnapped Orihime and all that stuff. That's pretty much when I
Yeah.
kind of like backed out of it
Really.
and stopped watching. Yeah, that was around the time that I stopped watching it because there was just so much to watch. And at that point,
Sure.
because remember, when that happens, you have all in the anime at least, you have all the Bount filler arc and then everything,
Uh,
all the other. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
was coming out of that filler arc, which by the way, the Bount arc I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Hmm.
But I was coming out of that, and then as I started rolling, like other things were coming along, so I kind of like I fell off. Now,
I get you.
our buddy Isaac, the co-host and co-creator of the Amateur Otaku, he kept talking about, "Hey, Bleach is coming back. Bleach is coming back," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And as I learned about the history, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So you're talking to me, you're telling me that the original anime never finished the story. And I was like, okay. Now, did you read The Thousand Year Blood War, or are you experiencing it for the first time with the series?
This is my first. The only thing I even knew about, the only reason I even heard about the Thousand Year Blood War was it was there was a game that came out. What was it called? Jump Force, I think it was.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and Ichigo was in the game, and he was wearing a costume I've never seen him in before. Like, what is that?
Interesting.
And
Oh,
apparently
so
that's
so
something weird.
so they're doing so they did the Blood War arc costume, or that was one of the options for it.
Yeah.
Like, did it have multiple
Well,
options?
that was the standard. That was like I was shocked. I don't remember him
Interesting.
ever wearing that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was so funny that you say that because I got the same type of like backlash or like whiplash and surprise when I started watching Bleach: The Thousand Year Blood War because Ichigo is wearing his
Yeah.
traditional new suit from the moment that from after the Fullbring arc.
Right.
You know what I mean? So here's Isaac, of course. Isaac says, for those listening at home, Isaac writes, a truly misunderstood masterpiece of a game. I mean, Jump Force is a lot of things, and I think misunderstood masterpiece and game, I think they all come together, and they become the word kind of a mess, but interesting.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I was super hyped for that when it was coming out, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like I remember when the first trailers for Jump Force came out. Like you got Naruto on one side, and suddenly Yugi Moto in the same place. A guy that just plays Shadow Gambit, like you know what I mean? Like it made no sense. But yeah, it's one of those things like I was surprised because of course when you see Ichigo come in the beginning of this arc is Isaac says on the chat, I have it on Switch and everyone's like, oh my God. I am not saying that live. Everybody got it. But yeah, we get it. But I found it interesting that he got, you know how when he recovers his Cell Reaper power. Oh, spoilers for anybody that's not caught up with Bleach. If you're not watching the 1,000-Year Blood War, there is no reason that you should be here now. You can come back later. We'll put it on the Twitter when you can come back. But if you are not caught up with Bleach, this is not the place to be. So spoilers.
Super spoilers.
I won't say it again. But you know how when when you see him, he's wearing his new costume, which is the result of him recovering his Soul Reaper powers in the Fullbring arc, which has like it has the different type of sword that's like bigger on the sides. It has the red scale like blade hilt on the shoulder, and it has the little thing, and it has the extensions, like the vein like extensions on the forearms and the neck. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's from the Fullbring arc. So I was kind of lost because I've never seen him that way. But I'm loving this show so much that I went back and I got caught up, but through the manga. Okay. So I started watching it, not caught up, but by the time we got to episode 5, to episode 6 and 7, I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm ready, and I literally stopped reading when the 1,000-Year Blood War started. So I'm like caught up 100%, and my goal is, depending on how I feel by the end of the show or at the end of the first core, because we're getting like 3 cores, right?
Right.
By the end of the first core, I'll decide whether or not I'm gonna jump in and keep reading before it comes out. But yeah, man, like I'm really enjoying this. So you're more or less an anime only then?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've only read a handful of mangas in my life. Bleach being one of the main ones because like I didn't read any manga before I read Bleach. Honestly, I think that was my first manga.
So you read okay. I'm sorry. So you were manga first and then read the show.
Well, no, I was for Bleach, yes, but for everything else, no. For everything else, I've been anime for. And Naruto and Bleach were the only 2 that I read the manga before I watched the show.
So, to what point did you read? So, let me ask you this: were you reading Bleach as it was released?
No, before.
No, not the anime. I'm talking about the manga. Like, were you reading it chapter by chapter?
No. Definitely not. No,
so it wasn't that close.
No.
Okay, so it's funny because we're kind of the same. Like, now, have you seen the entirety of the Bleach anime?
Yes.
Or okay, see, I haven't. I've read the full manga. I don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the world, damn it.
Really
like, but it's cool. Yeah, but the good thing is that now that I've read it, I kind of, if I want to see the animation and go back, I know where to go. and I can
Gotcha.
just watch that because I've read it already and I have a good idea.
Gotcha.
So Isaac confirms we're getting 4 cours of.
Four
Isaac
courses.
says in the chat we're getting 4 cours, which is phenomenal. I don't know how many episodes we have left. I mean, I know for a fact that for some reason they're going to drop 2 episodes tomorrow, which is like,
Okay.
why? Like, okay, I guess we're doing it. So I wonder if tomorrow's going to be either the finale or they just have a great, or they have very important story beats to cover and that's why they're doing it. Which again, kudos to them because I don't know if you're caught up with Demon Slayer.
No, I haven't even started. I want to. I know.
Okay.
I know. I
So
want
so
to.
so in a spoiler-free fashion, let me enlighten you. So in the
Okay.
second season, third arc ish,
Okay.
which is the Entertainment District arc, which everybody was going crazy about at the beginning of the year, right? Towards the end of the year, is what was the word I'm looking for? So they actually go out of their way to make episodes of different lengths. So not all of them were a strict 23 minutes.
Really?
And that actually aided the storytelling and the pacing a lot. So I wonder if there's a lot of that going on also with Bleach, because I'm gonna be honest, you and I both know in the last couple of episodes they're not missing any beats, bro. They're like not wasting any minutes whatsoever, but they've been doing a great job. But hey, thank you for sharing with us your experiences with Bleach, and I figure how about we jump into the episodes?
Sure. Let's do it.
So episode 8, the Shooting Star Project Zero Mix, which I kind of, after watching the episode, I kind of have a feeling that that's kind of either a reference to one of the actual opening songs of the original anime,
Right.
because there is an opening called Shooting Star,
You're right.
sung by you. Is it Shooting Star or Rolling Star?
I think it's Rolling Stone.
Okay,
I think it is.
I'm still right. No.
Yeah.
But I wonder if this is also like a kind of like a reference to the means of transportation of the Zero Squad to the Royal Palace, because they're literally shooting themselves from
They are.
like one galaxy to the other to the sky. And I love how Ichigo's saying, "Is there any other way to travel? like is this the only way?" But to get our bearings with this episode, I mean, it's the aftermath of the attack of the Waldenreich, of the assault on the Sereitei, on Soul Society.
Right.
Bunch of people lose their lives, bunch of people in critical condition. And not only that, oh, see, Isaac dropping truth. Isaac on the chat, Rolling Star is the 5th opening.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Some of the best intros and music
Yes.
period is Bleach.
Yes,
Period.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm a big fan of the very first one, Asterisk by Orange Range.
I love
Bro, that is fire. It is. It's like the hero's comeback from the first opening from Naruto Shippuden. It's like legendary. So
it. I agree.
so going back to the somber, to the sadness, like, right? So a bunch of people hurt, like they really struck. So, and there is like, I love how we spend, like the first, it's a slow episode, right?
It is.
But I love how down to earth it is. And I think this is what I like about Bleach a lot also, is that Bleach knows how to create grounded emotional moments. And I love how we're taking time to assess the damage.
Yep, they're taking time with it. They're not rushing in, so they're not
Right.
glossing over it.
Right. Like it's not that we're getting like a strict body count. It's not like we're seeing a White House like conference.
Hands
But
down.
but I love how organic it is, because you're getting like a little bit from different squads. A little
Right.
bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. And like the moment when you hear of this first half of the episode, what surprised you the most? What were the moments that shook you, if anything?
Shook me. Oh, I would say, I mean, just seeing that, like feeling the aftermath of that, the attack by the, what are they called? The
The Waldenreich,
Waldenreichs.
or you can just say the Quincy's, because at this point
Yeah,
everybody
they are
knows.
Quincy's, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all the words in.
Hey, see, you and I are gonna get along just fine.
I don't want to half-ass it.
Yeah, bet.
If that's what they're called. They have a lot of weird Germany sounding names
Yes, yes,
in their arsenal. So yeah, and what they did was basically embarrass the Sereitei, and like you got a lot of the captains they're basically they can't deal with what just happened. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
angry and they're embarrassed because they just got their their butts handed to them, right?
yeah,
Uh,
severely.
and severe, and some of them are like in like you said, critical conditions. We lost the captain commander. Like they're dealing with this whole thing all at once, and then Ichigo gets there, and he's feeling like crap because he got there late and he wanted to be there on time, and um, even then, like they kind of he I don't know I don't remember because it's been a little bit a couple episodes, but like he kind of helped shoo them away at the very end, but they were on a time constraint or whatever. I forget
Which
exactly
is
what happened.
interesting. Which is
Right.
interesting because now I love how the best villains are the ones that leave,
Hmm.
but when you leave, all you have is questions. I think those
Yeah,
are the best villains, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's a little bit of Eisen thrown in there too. Like, well, like how
Yes.
much did he have to do with that? Because
Yes.
he's
Yes.
like, there's a lot of mystery there. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, he did go check on him, and so there's
Yeah. 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 I like the whole thing about Eisen is literally like like I love how there's no bigger dick than Eisen.
still
Like you know what I mean? Like
right,
just so it's like Eisen's like, hey guys, just so you know, I'm not gonna help you because at the end of the day, I'm God. So
right,
if I'm not gonna get mine, why should I help you? And without you knowing it, Eisen's like, yeah, I'm making you lose time, but keep going.
right, right.
Yeah,
Insane.
yeah,
Like that was
yeah,
just
so great.
it's how it is. But that's basically what we were dealing with at the moment. We're dealing with
Yep,
basically the fallout, and
yep.
like dealing with it in the first place. Like with that, yeah, what Byakuya, right? He's in critical condition. Who else was in critical condition?
Well, originally you had Kenpachi, and then you have Byakuya.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I think Byakuya was the one that I was like, for like in the previous episode, like you get that sense of dread, like oh my god, Byakuya's about to die.
right.
And in his last words, he's asking Ichigo for help, which is something that he's always been too proud to do directly.
Absolutely right.
Like he's done it before, but he does it in a way where like
It's a little
I'm
different.
gonna ask you for help, but I'm not gonna tell you because
I'm gonna allude to it. Like I'm gonna push
exactly,
you that way.
exactly. It's like, and you get like that usual anime shonen, like Ichigo smiles because he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Like, yeah, you're a tough guy, but you're a softie.
Yeah. Basically.
But
And
here is like him and his dying words. So I like the idea of Byakuya survives, but he's like he's out of commission,
yep.
but he's still there. So there's like some hope there.
Yeah.
It was very heartbreaking when Ichigo finds Rukia.
Ugh, I think that's the first time they talk the whole series. So
Yes,
I'm like, wow.
yo, and that's interesting. I'm love that you mentioned that because one of the things that I found fascinating was that it wasn't until these two episodes that I noticed that the show has been beating the shit out of the audience for the last 8 episodes. You know what I mean? Like it's been like action, against violence, against reveals. It's like it's been back to back to back to back to back. Like this is actually the first breather that we get in the entire core. And it's a downer one. Joel, you there? Did I lose you? I think I may have lost.
Yes.
You there? You there? I think I lost you there for a minute, Joel. Technical
I'm
difficulties in the Sereitei.
here. Just
Yeah, I think I lost you a tad just with the audio. Um,
hold on.
let me see.
Hello.
Hello, I hear you now. You sound good. You're back.
Okay. Okay, we're good. I think
Yeah,
we're
cool.
back.
Okay, we're back
I
with
think.
vengeance. So, but yeah, so what I was saying was
Sorry about that. I'm not
that
sure what happened.
no, you're fine, bro. You're fine. that the show. So one of the things the show has done that's very interesting is that I don't know if you've noticed, but throughout the beginning of the first core as a whole, the show has been beating the shit out of the audience for the last 8 episodes, nonstop.
Yes.
It's been action,
Yes.
reveal, punch in the face, gut punch, blood, and like the first rest that we get of the season is this aftermath sadness of like we just got our like not only did we get great moments. By the way, not only did we get one of the best reintroductions of a cast that I've ever seen in any medium. Because those first 5 minutes of the first episode are mwah, Jeff's kiss, legendary, right? Very Persona 5, but again, Bleach came first, so it was very Bleach. So I'm going to say that, very, very Bleach. Because one of the things that I've come to appreciate more than ever, especially reading the book, is that Bleach has always been about style.
True.
And I love how they're carrying that in their sleeves. Even I think in this version of the anime, even more than the original, because I got a feeling that during the first couple of seasons of Bleach, it was all about style, and then it kind of like became more streamlined.
Okay.
And then now it's like, hey, no, guys, this is the identity. This is Bleach and color, and you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that this was the first moments of silence, but it's all this sadness in the air, and like, what a great way of presenting it and making us feel everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, that was, and also of course the final, and of course if that wasn't enough, there's no remedy for Ichigo's zanpakutō. Like,
Right.
bro, he has no break, bro. So
Yeah,
he
no
has he has to sacrifice his Soul Reaper powers to defeat Aizen. He gets them back at the end of the arc that follows, and the new guy, the new villain, which they tease that he's kind of related or something to Ichigo.
Right.
He just destroyed his sword, and it's like,
Zanpakutō. Still has his Bankai, but Zanpakutō.
yeah, but then he can't express his power, which is like, well, actually,
Right.
no, wasn't it like Ewok's? Wasn't it another Stern Ritter that broke it? Because it wasn't Ewok. It was the Stern Ritter that was with him, right?
Yes, I believe you're right.
That makes it worse.
That is kind of worse.
Like, it wasn't even like, but yeah, like, so now, of course, that's the first half. Do you add anything else on this first half of the episode?
Not much else. That was the biggest, the biggest thing for me was like the emotion, and at least till the very end of it, where you're introduced to, the squad.
Yeah.
Zero Squad.
Now, and let's talk about the Zero Squad. The Zero Squad, apart from the fact that they're freaking hilarious.
Yeah, they're so weird.
They're so, they're so weird. I don't get it. I love how they're introduced. I love the fact that they belong at the Royal Palace.
And they're mad silly. They're like,
they're mad silly. But then again, they're like the strongest ones ever.
Are. And I do like that they brought up, like, where were you? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And it's like, and then he goes, well, our job is to protect the Royal Palace. Your job is to protect the Soul Society.
Right.
You failed. We didn't fail our job. And you're like, damn.
That was a nice little jab. I'm already hurt.
Yo, that wasn't a jab, bro. That was a knockout. That guy just dancing. He's going full Muhammad Ali on the freaking captains, bro. Like,
yeah, for real.
But I find it interesting that they all have relationships with them. But I think what really drew me the most to this new set of characters, right? Which again is very typical shonen. Like, there's no way that you can expand the story without introducing new characters, right? Is that going in? Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. So did you finish the Fullbring arc on the manga or in the anime?
The anime.
Okay, bet. So I don't know if you know this, but at the end of so after the Aizen arc in the manga, they literally tell you next arc, the Lost Agent arc. It's not called Fullbring. It's called the Lost Agent arc.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, it literally says final arc, the 1,000-Year Blood War.
Really?
So not only do they announce it at this is the end in the manga, because they do announce it and call it the end of the manga, they actually make it a point to let you know that it's the end. So I like the fact that when the anime came back, from the beginning, you're being told that this is the end, right?
Right.
And what I like about that notion of and that understanding is that I kind of see how Tite Kubo is understanding that because this is the end, he's finding storytelling ways of answering the questions that we never answered before.
Right.
Because we always knew the Royal Palace existed. From the very first Soul Society arc, we always knew it was there.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're finally going.
Yeah, I always wondered too, like, what's up there?
Exactly. Like, we know about the Soul King because Aizen mentioned it like a million times.
Yeah, right.
But now, and then at the end of this episode, we're teased with a glimpse of him. Which, again, it kind of looks like the baby from 2000: A Space Odyssey. Like,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm waiting for the dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Da, da. But yeah, like, and I love that as soon as they take Ichigo, because apparently there's a way of restoring the zanpakutō.
Of course.
But I like the fact that they made it a point to say that it's not going to be fixed. We're going to use it as material for a new one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So it's like, okay, bet. Like, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where like, okay, bet, we got to go. But I like the fact that Ichigo's going, Renji's going. They kind of highlight the fact that Byakuya is it's such a critical condition that the only way he can get healed is up there.
Right. That he'll die basically if he stays.
Yeah. Yes. But also, like, it's one of those situations where like the Zero Squad is literally saying, yes, you failed and we weren't here, but we're here now, so let us take care of it, damn it.
Right. Get out of our way, basically.
Yes. But yeah, I like all the different characters. Did you find any of the Zero Squad members? Which one did you find the most interesting, if any?
Good question. That's a really good one. I mean, they all look interesting.
I think it's a good moment to segue to the next one, right? The next episode.
Yeah, that's fine because we don't really get a lot of time with them in that last episode.
Yeah,
we get a lot more of at least 3 of them in the next episode.
Yeah.
Bleach. So yeah, we'll start the drop now.
Yeah.
So that's basically them healing up, at least to start, right?
Yeah.
And I'm still getting to know. I don't really know their names either that well.
I don't know the names either, but they're all captains.
Right.
So they're all captain level squad members. Mm-hmm. They each have their own freaking city. because okay.
Their own area.
Yeah. And then we find out one of the interesting things of why nobody can go see the Soul King is because they need the Hoken. But the explanation is that whoever becomes a member of Zero Squad, the Hoken is built into their bones.
Oh.
Which is super interesting.
Let me catch that.
It's super interesting. Isaac writes ... I guess he's sleeping. So, but yeah, it's like I find it interesting that they're answering questions, right? Because remember, the Hoken is the whole thing that drove Aizen. That was the whole which again never came to nothing because he never got to make that key or whatever.
Right.
But which makes me think if that's the way it works, why wouldn't Aizen just simply try and become a member of Squad Zero?
Well, yeah, right. You would think.
But then again, he wants to kill the Soul King.
Also, that's his main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you kind of think maybe the Soul King knows the intentions. There got to be something divine about the guy that looks like the baby from Space Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be more to that.
Exactly. Which I'm very intrigued. I want to know what's the deal with that guy. But yeah, so apparently Renji, Ichigo, and everyone are there have to go to the different cities as a means of training.
Right.
For some reason, I don't know why. I got a feeling that Ichigo and Renji are being treated as Pokemon trainers. They got to go to every single gym,
Yeah, really.
and they have to conquer something.
They're basically the way I look, at least the way it felt was like they're basically the Goku Vegeta
Yes.
of the series.
Well, I
Right
mean, yeah. But more or less, they've always been. I like the fact that you brought that up because I don't want to say that's one of my. I don't want to say it's a gripe with Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball, it's kind of its own thing. You can't really
right.
and you can say whatever you want about Dragon Ball as a whole, but in the years that has existed, nothing is like Dragon Ball.
No,
Dragon Ball, it's its own thing. You either love it, you either hate it, or you enjoy it. But there's always something for everybody, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So it makes me think because of the sitcom aspect and slapstick concepts of Dragon Ball, you can get away with just being Goku and Vegeta for the next 5 years, and you can make that work. But I love the fact Ichigo has those kind of relationships with multiple characters because he kind of has the same relationship that he has with Renji, similar to the one he has with Uryu.
Yep.
Which is kind of the same one, right? And then he has a different with Sato, and I don't know why Isaac writes One Piece for life, but okay.
I don't disagree.
We are. So I love the fact. Oh, by the way, funniest moment of the previous episode when they get to the royal palace and they get to the first city with the expert healer.
Tanjiro.
Yeah, whatever his name was. And the first thing he does, he grabs a mummified Byakuya and just throws him to the other pond. like,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
like, didn't we just say that he's about to die? Which goes to the other side, which is why I love these two episodes. It's because even though it's still Bleach and serious things are happening, I love the fact that we get some comedy Bleach.
Yep.
Which we haven't had the entire season.
Yeah, you're right. It has been very serious most of the time.
I mean, we got a little bit when Ichigo tells this guy, Ebern, get out of my bed.
True. Yeah,
and he keeps saying it, and then Ebern goes, what are you talking about? And then suddenly, oh no, he's still in his bed. And then he just kicks him out.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Now, let me ask you this: moments from this episode that you enjoyed.
All right. So in the beginning, when they're healing up in the springs, and he punched the shit out of Ichigo, he went flying. He was like, and he took it. He took it like a man. And the fact that
he took it like a man after being transported through 2 mountains ago.
True. And also like he just finished healing up. Like you're obviously like once he gets up, he's like, "Look, you're fine. Look, you're not even bruised up anymore." Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he tells his guys like, "This guy took my punch. Should have died. Broke my hand." Like,
no, and the way he said like Ichigo is so particularly strong and battle worthy that. In a reflex, without noticing, he blocked because what he was saying is that Ichigo in an instant blocked it, and because Ichigo is so strong, when he blocked it, he broke the guy's hand, which is like, which makes you go like, holy shit, yeah, that's a power up.
It's for real. And another thing that was really cool was the when the guys that were training them or whatever, helping them out in the spring had to wear suits to be in there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and both of them were just chilling, which is
just bandages.
Yes, which kind of lets you to the understanding that both. I mean, we knew this about Ichigo for the longest time. I think my biggest surprise of the both was Renji, that both Ichigo and Renji have captain level spiritual pressure.
Right.
You know, because that's kind of like what they're alluding to, especially with the fact that that they were able to take that damage. And I love the fact that Renji took the punch and you can see him cringing like
yes, he definitely took it though.
So after that they go to the second gym leader.
The
gym leader of food, which by the way, of course, Bleach is going to play into what they need to play to. And of course, you got this person that makes food for them, but because she uses all spiritual energy, she becomes this beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And of course, the breasts are the one thing that don't lose spiritual pressure. Like, I mean, typical shonen, right?
Yep,
I mean,
that's very typical indeed. Especially in this show. Like they do like their boobs in this show.
yes, they do. I mean, when one of your main characters, it's yeah. So,
Yeah.
hey, it works. It's Bleach. Hey,
Oh yeah, for real.
so that was the fun stuff, right? We got some. I think it's the first time we see Renji and Ichigo go full Goku when it comes to food, like just jamming food. So that was a fun time. Now, what I found very interesting is the big reveal of the episode. We meet the first Kenpachi.
Yes.
And it's Captain Unohana,
of all people.
the healer.
Yes.
The one that has not lifted her sword almost ever. Like I think we saw her fight maybe once or twice, maybe.
Right.
But we rarely see her fight. But she is the first Kenpachi. She's the Kenpachi that Kenpachi fought and beat to get this. That's not the only thing though. She was part of the original squad that faced Ewok the first time.
Right.
Which I think it's another like, okay, so she's a bigger character than I could have ever imagined.
Right.
When you got that reveal, what was your thought, man?
I was shocked. I mean, I know this. We've known this character for like forever.
Yes.
And then for that to be revealed, like what? The healer is one of the deadliest killers of all time. You're like, what?
Yeah. No, and it's so funny because it's like brilliant also because when you see her in her, I don't know, assassin mode.
Yeah. Oh, she looks.
All she does is lose the knots or whatever.
Yeah.
She loses the braids, and it's like, oh shit. It's about to go. It's like it's like the opposite of the herbal essences commercials of back in the days. When the women just lose her hair and start moving around very dramatically, like the whole Fabio thing.
Right.
She just has to loosen her braids and she gets all killer. But yeah, that's a big reveal. And apparently she's gonna be training Kenpachi Saraki to become stronger.
Yeah, and they don't want that because he's fucking dangerous already.
Yes. But with this, it is heavily implied that we have a new head captain.
Oh yeah, we do.
Tell me.
I was very shocked.
Yeah, but then again, he is the captain of Squad 1, right?
Now he was the captain, I think, of what was it?
Oh, because General Yamamoto wasn't General Yamamoto. Oh wait, so General Yamamoto's squad was Squad 1. Got it.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Now he's the Squad 1 captain and captain commander. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Which before he was just
a guy that likes to talk to girls like this.
I've always liked this character.
Yeah.
So for him to get this like what they call it, promotion, I was very pleasantly surprised and happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm man, I always like this guy. This guy, and he lost an eye, which sucks.
Yeah.
But the man is like I was very happy to see Shinsui, get his due, and now he is the captain commander of the whole.
Yeah.
Whatever 13, and I'm very happy for him. But like I'm ready to see how that goes. I never would expect him to be the heir apparent either.
Yeah. And I wonder who's going to fill up his spot and who they're. And you can kind of tell, like, he's been talking about filling spots. That's kind of like the conversation that we jump in, right? Mm-hmm. As they're filling out the spots, who's going to take whose place and whatever.
Because he took his lieutenant with him.
Right. Yeah. Now the cool thing about it also was I find it interesting that Yamamoto had, like, the huge scar on his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to lose an eye to get the position.
Yeah, for real. Good point.
It's like someone has to lose something, right?
Yeah, not in this world.
Yeah, but yeah, that was an interesting twist, and I find it interesting and I find it terrifying also that in the training of the Kenpachis, right? Or the Kenpachi, which apparently, of course, there's always a chamber, right?
Right.
You can't have a shonen anime without a training chamber,
Of course.
right? But apparently, because of the techniques that they're studying or whatever Unohana wants to teach or wants to try and help Saraki get stronger, one of them has to die. Like that's just what needs to happen, and it's like, holy shit. So like the only way to get stronger to be able to withstand another attack is they're literally like sacrificing each other, and it's like that's how deep this goes.
Right.
And you kind of know that Saraki is probably the one that's gonna win because I think he's like the bigger character.
He's a more popular character.
Yeah, yeah.
In
So
general.
yeah. But I also kind of hope that there's a way where they survive, where they both survive, and we find what it is.
Right.
But yeah, I was very surprised on the twist of her being the first Kenpachi and being this dangerous person. Because funny enough is, I kind of thought when they first revealed the squad that fought against Ewok, right? Those assassins or whatever.
Right.
And whenever they said the Squad Zero was coming, I kind of thought that Squad Zero had members of that original squad.
Cool. That's a good point.
I kind of thought that. I would never imagine that one of the current captains was one of them.
Yeah,
because you haven't met any of them, which I just find crazy.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything else on the episode. Anything else that blew your mind, that draw your attention before we move on?
Well, no, I think we touched on everything basically. The fact that he basically the only thing he has to die to get stronger is insane.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I can't wait to see what the next episode is and where it goes because this show it's been crazy and oh man, it's been fun though.
Yeah, it's getting better and better with every episode. It's premium Bleach.
Oh yeah.
And not against COVID. It's anime. Damn it. It's premium. I don't know. It just comes out of nowhere. It's premium Bleach. It's super fun. Guys, if you're loving Bleach as much as we are, every single week that an episode comes out, let us know in the comments below. What was your favorite moment from episode 8? And what was your favorite moment from episode 9? I'm very excited. I mean, every single bit of Bleach that I've been watching, I've been loving every minute of it. I still say it without fear. It's probably my best. It's my best anime of the season. It's one of my favorite anime of the year. And I can't wait to keep watching. I can't wait to keep enjoying. And if you love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, we cover Bleach every 2 weeks. So it's going to be 2 weeks before we cover Bleach again. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you click that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click on the bell icon so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want to listen to us on the go, don't worry. Whenever we record on Sundays, on Mondays, the This Week in Anime episode comes out on the Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast feed, so you can listen to it on the go, and so you don't miss any single Bleach coverage. Joel, if people wanted to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Joel_J27. And that's basically it. I'm really only on Twitter. Facebook, I'm on there if you can look around. But, Geek Vibers Nation on Facebook and Geek Vibers Nation on Twitter. And that's how it is.
Awesome. And you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter. You can find the podcast at the Amateur Otaku. Actually, not this one. You can find the Twitter. You can find the podcast on Twitter at the Amateur Otaku. We just changed it. Sorry. So, guys, thank you for joining us for the Bleach coverage. See you next time. Have it awesome.